Every morning is a gift filled with a mission. Today, we reflect on the powerful truth of being guided toward our purpose. As dawn breaks, let's embrace the stillness and warmth of a new beginning. In this sacred moment, we open ourselves to renewed strength and clarity for the day ahead. Every morning is a gift filled with a mission. Today, we reflect on the powerful truth of being guided toward our purpose. As dawn breaks, let's embrace the stillness and warmth of a new beginning. In this sacred moment, we open ourselves to renewed strength and clarity for the day ahead. As we come together in this quiet moment, let us turn our hearts to the Word of God. Jehovah has sent me. Num. 16:28. Take a moment to let these words linger in your heart. In this sacred morning stillness, let us deeply receive the profound truth that Jehovah has sent me. Remember this affirmation, allowing its significance to rest gently within you as we prepare for a time of prayer and reflection. In the book of Numbers, Moses speaks during a time of great unrest among the Israelites. The congregation is grappling with dissent and questioning leadership, as some are challenging Moses' authority. In this turbulent moment, Moses communicates a message of divine commissioning to affirm his role as God's chosen leader. As we reflect on these words, let us open our hearts to the purpose God has for each of us. In the midst of a challenging period within the Israelite community, the account from Numbers highlights the tensions between Moses and those questioning his leadership. Caught in a steep conflict fueled by ambition and discontent, Moses stands assured, proclaiming the authority bestowed upon him by God. This declaration reinforces his divine calling and reminds the people of the significance of following God's appointed leaders. As we contemplate this passage, may we prepare our hearts to explore the unique purposes that God calls each of us to fulfill. As we awaken to a new day, we often ponder the direction and meaning of our lives in a world that feels chaotic and uncertain. Today, we turn our hearts toward understanding our divine purpose and calling. Recognizing our purpose can ground us and give meaning to our daily journey, reminding us that we are not alone in our walk. With the dawn of each day, we find ourselves reflecting on our life's journey and the calling that awaits us. Today, we're invited to explore the profound idea of divine purpose and calling, a reminder that each of us has a unique role in the tapestry of creation. This theme resonates deeply within us, especially now, as we navigate challenges and seek assurance that we are guided by a greater hand. As we continue to reflect on this sacred invitation, we find reassurance in the assurance that God is actively involved in leading us. This scripture reveals the profound truth that God is not distant. He is intimately engaged in our lives, actively sending forth his messengers and orchestrating his will through each of us. This reveals God's character as a loving and purposeful creator who desires to guide us into the fullness of our divine calling. In this moment of quiet contemplation, we come to understand that God's intent is woven into the fabric of our existence, gently urging us forward in his design. He, the creator of the universe, sends us forth not only with a mission, but with his presence, assuring us that our paths are guided by his love. This profound truth stirs in our hearts a deep awareness of our inherent value in his divine narrative, reminding us that we are intricately woven into his plans. As we embrace the comforting truth of God's involvement in our lives, we begin to see how this assurance shapes our perspective each day. This understanding gently shifts our attitudes, allowing us to navigate our moments with deeper awareness of being guided and cherished, even in the ordinary events of life. It invites us to cultivate a sense of openness, recognizing that each day holds the potential for divine purpose to be revealed in our interactions and experiences. As we acknowledge the love and guidance we receive from above, we find ourselves naturally approached to live with a spirit of expectancy. This quiet confidence molds our daily encounters, shaping our responses to the world around us. We begin to perceive the small moments as part of a larger story, inviting us to remain present and attuned to the gentle whispers of purpose in our everyday lives, inviting a deepening trust as we weave faith into each moment. We begin to feel the stirrings of God's truth deep within us, inviting our hearts to rest in the gentle embrace of His purpose. In this space, we may feel a quiet longing for clarity, or perhaps an undercurrent of weariness as we navigate our paths. We carry within us hopes, uncertainties, and the weight of our daily struggles, sensing the mixture of joy and retreat within our spirits. Yet, even in our unsteady moments, God is near, His compassion weaving through our hearts, assuring us we are never alone, and that He meets us here with tenderness. As God's truth tenderly touches our hearts, we allow ourselves to feel met in our longing, becoming aware of the weariness that quietly resides within. We sense His steady presence resonating in the spaces of our uncertainty, inviting us into a sanctuary of peace. In this moment, we let go of striving, resting fully in the knowledge that we are held by His unfailing love, no effort required as we breathe in His comforting nearness. The reflection gently shifts into reassurance, affirming our understanding of divine purpose and calling that reaches deep within us. God's unwavering care meets us here, inviting us to trust in His guidance as we navigate our unique paths. With this sense of support, we feel a gentle hope blossoming within, preparing us to embrace what lies ahead with open hearts. As we rest in this truth, we recognize the warmth of God's presence, close and attentive to our journey. It reassures us that we are never alone, especially as we pursue our calling. In this sacred moment, we can hold on to that awareness, allowing it to fill us with quiet strength and hope, paving the way for heartfelt communion as we draw nearer to prayer. We often find ourselves seeking affirmation in our day-to-day lives, wondering if we are on the right path or fulfilling a greater purpose. Picture a morning haze where we sip our coffee, quietly reflecting on our dreams and responsibilities, perhaps feeling a sense of uncertainty about our next steps. In these moments, we may feel an invitation to pause and bring those unanswered questions before God, trusting that our journey is known and guided. In the gentle rhythm of our mornings, as we sit with our thoughts and the warmth of our coffee, we might find a whisper of divine presence among our uncertainties. Just like the first light breaking through the dawn, there's an assurance that we are indeed held in a purpose beyond our understanding. As we face our day, those feelings of doubt or hesitation can become peaceful offerings, inviting us to lean deeper into our calling and embrace the path we are on. There are mornings when we wake up feeling a bit lost, unsure about what is ahead, yet yearning for clarity and purpose. In those moments, it's common to feel a mix of uncertainty and hope, longing for reassurance that we are on the right path. Yet, even amidst that uncertainty, we can sense God's gentle presence guiding us, reminding us that we are never truly alone in our search for meaning. We've all had mornings where we rise with a weight on our hearts, those days when clarity feels distant and our purpose seems blurred. In the quiet of such moments, I've often found an unexpected peace, a soft whisper that cradles my uncertainty. It's as if, in the stillness, God is quietly affirming that I am cared for, that my feelings of confusion are seen and understood. There's a warmth in that awareness, a gentle reminder that even when our path isn't clear, we are nestled within His loving embrace, and that presence invites us to trust amidst the questions. As we reflect on our journey together, a gentle awareness begins to rise within us. We start to notice how the threads of our lives, weaving through uncertainty, are intertwined with a deeper purpose that beckons us forward. In this realization, we humble ourselves to understand that our calling is not solely of our own making. It is shaped by a divine hand, guiding and affirming us each step of the way. There's a quiet confidence that settles within, reminding us that God has been present, inviting us to see our paths illuminated in ways we might not have expected. This awareness stirs something profound within us as we prepare our hearts to lay down our worries and bring them to God in prayer. We begin to sense that our individual struggles are part of a larger tapestry woven with purpose. In this moment, we recognize the presence of God gently affirming our journey and calling. As we sit with our shared experiences, a soft understanding rises within us, revealing how closely our paths align with a greater purpose. We begin to see that our uncertainties are met with divine assurance, showing us that we are guided by a loving presence which shapes our journey. There is a delicate reassurance that God has been with us through it all, helping us to uncover this sense of belonging to something larger. With this newfound awareness, we turn our hearts toward prayer, inviting God into this tender space of surrender. The listener may find themselves reflecting on their own unique calling, sensing how God speaks into the depths of their lives just as He does with each of us. This contemplation may awaken an inward sense of longing for connection, a realization that they too are woven into God's larger plan. In this shared journey, we embrace the divine whispers that invite us all to recognize our purpose, acknowledging that we are never truly alone in our quest. As we dwell in this quiet space together, we start to sense how the divine purpose that stirs us is not only personal, but also profoundly communal, binding us in our search for meaning and fulfillment. It is a reminder that each call we feel is echoed in the hearts of others around us, enveloping us in God's gentle presence that is as close as a breath, ready to guide us further as we move into a moment of prayerful stillness. We are guided by the understanding that each of us carries a divine purpose ordained by God. In this assurance, we are reminded that God invites us into his plans with unwavering faithfulness. This truth anchors our hearts, allowing us to embrace our unique callings with quiet confidence. As we reflect on our lives, we acknowledge the gentle affirmation that we are shaped by a purpose beyond our own, reminding us that we are held by the promise of divine guidance. In God's abiding presence, we find an unwavering assurance that we are not alone in our journey. This knowledge strengthens our hearts, quiets our minds, and prepares us to open ourselves to him in prayer, where we can fully rest and trust in his perfect will. A gentle inner movement toward trusting God's plan for our lives is beginning to blossom. Our hearts are quietly ready to lean into the assurance of his guidance. Faith begins to feel like a natural and comforting response as we consider his presence with us, as we immerse ourselves in the knowledge of our divine purpose. Our hearts may feel a soft stirring, gently beckoning us to lean into God's supportive love and presence throughout our day. This trust envelops us in a warmth, making it easier to open ourselves to his guidance, allowing the comforting reality that he is with us to wash over our souls. We find the quiet space within to entrust our lives and the moments ahead into his capable hands, sensing that every step we take is cradled in divine assurance as we prepare to communicate with him in prayer. The beauty of our hearts, now open and receptive, invites a deep flow of divine purpose to wash over us, filling our spirits with the assurance that we are cherished and purposeful in God's sight. As we take this step into the day, we are enveloped in the warmth of his presence, knowing that his faithfulness goes before us, guiding our path with infinite care. We are held close, surrounded by his everlasting love, walking forward in trust, knowing we are never alone in our journey, and that his grace attends to every moment we face. In this gentle embrace of hope, we find ourselves secured in the knowledge of God's unwavering support, as his presence nurtures our hearts for the day ahead. We walk in a spirit of purpose, confident that we are invited to share our prayers with him, who is always near to hear us. As we embrace this serene morning, we hold on to the stillness that comes from recognizing the profound purpose woven into our lives by God's loving hand. Together, we settle into this moment, aware of the sacredness of our time before God. With hearts open and expectant, we find peace in the knowledge that prayer is a gentle and transformative conversation. In the quiet of these moments, we reflect on our shared journey under God's unwavering guidance and purpose, allowing his presence to envelop us as we prepare ourselves for this time of prayer. United in spirit, we are invited to let our hearts rest in this safe space, attuning ourselves to the truth that we are never alone as we approach the day. An expression of thankfulness for God's guidance and presence in our lives, an honoring acknowledgement of God's sovereign power and loving plan, a sacred, peaceful atmosphere cultivating deeper connection with God. We pause in your presence, O Lord, filled with gratitude for who you are, our faithful guide and gentle shepherd. Thank you for forever holding us close, for revealing your divine purpose in our lives, and for your unwavering love that meets us each day. We honor your holiness, acknowledging your goodness, which echoes through creation, and your constancy, which anchors our souls. May our hearts remain attuned to the wonder of your majesty, lifting our praises to you as the source of all life and grace. We rest in this moment of worship, fully aware of your nearness and ready to engage in deeper conversation as we continue in prayer. The prayer gently invites God's transformative work into our daily lives, urging us to embrace His calling and purpose with open hearts. The blessing emanates a sense of peace and assurance, assuring us of God's faithful guidance through the journey ahead. Our hearts and minds align with God's as we seek His presence, ready to receive His blessings and direction. As we gather these thoughts and intentions, we recognize your loving presence meeting us in our need. We invite you, Lord, to etch your purposes deep within us, guiding our hearts, thoughts, and paths as we move through our day. Bless our inner lives with clarity, strengthen our decisions with wisdom, and cover the unseen moments ahead with your peace and grace. May we rest in the assurance that you walk alongside us, nurturing our spirits and shaping our journey. In this quiet, we feel the warmth of your embrace, committing ourselves to your gentle leading as we prepare to conclude our time in prayer, knowing you are ever present with us. We acknowledge that as we conclude this prayer, we are enveloped in a profound sense of trust, knowing that God's purpose will unfold in our lives. We can rest in the assurance that every moment is infused with His guiding presence, completing the journey we've taken together in prayer. In this space of calm and reflection, we find a sacred closure that nurtures our spirits, reminding us that we are never alone and that our hearts can truly rest in His loving care. We settle into a deep confidence in God's unwavering support, feeling that His divine purpose is at work within and around us. This strengthens our belief that we can face today with peace, knowing that He walks beside us. As we pause for a moment of stillness, we embrace the quiet knowledge that we are cocooned in God's love, ready to step into the day with a renewed sense of hope and expectation. As we come to the end of our prayer, let us embrace the gift of today with open hearts, resting in the faith that God's purpose is before us and His care surrounds us. We feel settled in the assurance that we are right where we need to be. With trust in His plans, we gently close this time together, confident that we step forward in His grace and love. Amen. As we step into the day, we invite you to carry this prayerful spirit with you, allowing it to inspire your thoughts and actions. If you feel led, we'd love for you to stay connected with us through more of our videos or reflections anytime you wish. Together, we embrace the warmth of this shared experience and the beauty of our time together. As we take a moment to reflect on the peace we have experienced together, let us carry this prayerful attitude into our day, gently welcoming the opportunity to remain connected with our community through future reflections or visits. May we all feel free to return whenever we wish, as we continue forward with gratitude and connection. Seeking clarity in our divine purpose and courage to follow God's calling, addressing the call in our lives, the struggles of daily existence, and the hidden challenges within our hearts, a humble reliance on God's guidance and understanding, as we seek His will as we stand in this moment of prayer. We acknowledge our dependence on you, Lord, knowing that you have a divine purpose for each of our lives. We ask for clarity in understanding that calling, seeking courage to pursue it wholeheartedly, especially as we navigate the strains of daily life. We bring before you the inner challenges we may face, those unseen burdens that weigh heavily on our hearts and minds. In your infinite wisdom, we trust that you will provide the strength and insight we need to fulfill our calling, and we embrace this moment, knowing that our prayer continues in the silence of our hearts.